Go in that order. Let's start with spending. The CBO says the bill will cost about $950 billion over the next decade. Doug disagrees. Doug thinks it could be twice that because he thinks that more employers will drop health insurance and their employees will go to the exchange. Let me tell you why the CBO disagrees and why I disagree. Two reasons. First of all available economic evidence says Doug's wrong, and that in fact, based on our existing evidence of how employers respond to changes in the price of insurance, they won't do that. Second of all, we have, now you can come back then and say, look, this is a radical change. Existing evidence, previous evidence doesn't matter. But we've actually run this experiment, folks. We ran it in Massachusetts. Okay? In Massachusetts, we put in a system with more generous subsidies than the federal government's doing and a much smaller penalty on employers to drop health insurance. So if dropping health insurance was going to happen and sending people to the exchange was going to happen, it would have happened here. It didn't. In fact, the opposite happened. Employer-sponsored insurance went up by 10% in Massachusetts after our reform. Now, I believe I wrote down the quote because Doug said something about the business sector being ingenious enough to figure this out. I don't think he's insulting the Massachusetts business community. I think the Massachusetts business community is pretty ingenious. I think the point is they're just not interested in doing that. Employers went to their employees in the face, employees went to their employers in the face of the mandate, said, I want health insurance. The employers offered it, and employer-sponsored insurance went up, not down. So I think there's no reason to disagree with what the CBO said on this, which is a reduction in employer insurance, to be sure, of about 2 or 3%, a modest reduction, but not the huge sweeping swamp that Doug sees. So I think the spending estimate is solid.